Good morning, everybody. So it's Monday. I haven't done any videos in about a week. Make a very long story short, we just rescued a puppy, so I needed time to do what we had to do there. And other than the Trump indictment and whatever else, which we knew was coming, there wasn't really all that much to talk about. So, as you know, Trump has in fact been indicted. I believe Tuesday is the arraignment. And now we're starting to hear rumbles of New York State issuing a gag order. Who could have seen that coming? Anybody who watches my videos or podcast knows that that was one of the first things that I said would happen. Um, so it should be obvious. Before we get too into it, though, first a word from today's sponsor. Today's video sponsor is Augusta Precious Metals. Is the Biden economy hurting your 401k or IRA? Well, help is on the way. Request the free gold IRA guide that persuaded Mark Levin to diversify his retirement with gold and precious metals. According to Mark, they won't just sell you, they'll educate you so you can make your own decision. Many of my supporters love Augusta Precious Metals, and you will too. Get yourself the free gold IRA guide at covfefe.click/IRA. covfefe.click/IRA. Okay, so there's so much to actually say on this topic. Uh, Number one, the fact that they were going to go with a gag order should have been fairly obvious to everybody because if you think about it, what did they do with General Flynn, Papadopoulos, Roger Stone, it was Alex Jones? Almost any time, which Alex Jones was a civil lawsuit, but still, nonetheless, the same thing. They gag order these guys so they can't even speak, right? That's pretty much the trick. And, everybody should think about it. You're going to put a gag order on the front runner who's a presidential candidate, and in most polls, beating Joe Biden. Not that we should believe the polls are obviously dishonest. So if they say that he's beaten Joe by 10 points, he's beaten Joe by 30, 40, or 50 points, right? And I don't know what they are because, to be honest with you, I really don't watch the polls. I do know that in many polls that Trump is taking the lead, right? He certainly has the lead in the Republican side if you want to play it safe. So think about that. One state is going to prevent a presidential candidate, one who's already in the race. It's not like the guy gets himself into some shit and then so to say, I'm going to run for president, kind of like a Hillary Clinton did, right? Or Joe Biden or any of these people. You know, this thing where it was past the statute of limitations, that's not a very good precedent to set. I think in the end, it will benefit us, hopefully. But still, not a good precedent to set. So you have misdemeanors, which are 2-year statute of limitations. You get felonies that are 5-year statute of limitations. Now you have a state trying to bring a federal case, not only just a federal case, but the federal case that the federal government declined to prosecute. And so did the state government at some point. How that even happens, I don't know. And it's all kind of irrelevant because even if they were able to do all that happy horseshit, it's still only a 5-year statute of limitations. So rumor has it that they're now trying to go for some type of conspiracy, and then they're going to try to give him 36 counts or something, for every time he paid Michael Cohen. It's all a bunch of nonsense, right? We know that. But you got to kind of start thinking about it. Realistically, what is the outcome that they believe that they're going to have, right? And I've spoken about this a lot. You got to look, using your peripherals and see what moves are going on in the background, right? You have the media, Fox News. You have these alternative media influencers, jackasses like Jenna Ellis. I hate that girl, by the way. Such a skank. Anyway, and you have them all pushing Ron DeSantis. We've seen this before with Donald Trump in 2016, right? When it was Ted Cruz versus Donald Trump. For whatever reason, the media and the Democrat establishment decided that Ted Cruz was more of a threat than Donald Trump. So they elevated Donald Trump, squashed Ted Cruz, and then turned on Trump once he got the nominee. Well, we kind of see the same trick again, only this time with Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump. Only this time they know Donald Trump is the better candidate. So we're going to push Benedict Ronald on the people. And then they would probably do the same thing. Not that I think that Ronnie Boy has a chance of actually winning anything. I don't think that guy could win dog catcher. I think his days are numbered. He's lucky he can't run as governor again because I don't think he'd get elected, especially after pissing off the Trump people. But why? So then what do they think that they're going to get out of it, right? Now, they brought a case despite the fact that they have none. They brought a case despite the fact that the statute of limitations are passed. So do I think in my mind that there's a chance that they think they'll actually convict this guy and get him in a prison or even house arrest or whatever? They'll take it if they can get it. I don't think that that's really what they are intending here. It could be, though. Look, they brought charges for something that doesn't exist, so I would put nothing past these people. However, I think that in the immediate, the play right now, the one in front of us, is the rise of Ron DeSantis to get rid of Donald Trump. Because, another thing that's starting to come out, even in the mainstream circles, is that Joe Biden is dissatisfied with Kamala Harris. I don't think that there is one human being that actually likes Kamala Harris, including the liberal lunatics. I have yet to hear any. I mean, not that I've heard anything great about Joe, but at least with Joe Biden, when you ask, well, what do you think about Joe Biden? Usually I hate Trump, right? You'll get something like that. Not that that is what I like about Joe Biden, but it's at least a response. When you ask somebody what they think about Kamala Harris, you get this. Crickets, right? Nothing. You get absolutely nothing. Because I don't think there's anything good that anybody could say about Kamala Harris. Even Willie Brown had bad things to say about Kamala Harris, and he was probably one of the only people in the world that, may have been able to say something good about her. The next thing I wanted to say, I probably won't. Apparently, her services aren't very good. Anyway, got to have some humor in it, guys. All right. But so where do we go from here? The gag order. I think that is the next step in this nefarious play that we have is the gag order. They did it with Roger Stone. They did it with a bunch of people, right? I think, in my opinion, out of all the people that they did it to, I think General Flynn and Roger Stone were probably the two they got the biggest benefit out of gagging, right? Roger Stone is a political savage, and Michael Flynn, he knows where all the bodies are buried. So they really need to shut those two guys up. And look what they did. They did this gag order so they can't even speak. And not only was it a gag order involving, their cases directly, they had such a broad gag order that they couldn't even use their social media accounts. How do you run for president and then you can't use your social media account? How do you run a social media company and you can't even use your social media account? So we'll see exactly where this goes, but you could kind of see the handwriting on the wall here, where they're going to attempt to do everything that they can to already influence the 2024 election. And I have news for you guys. I'm still, and my mind just, the new talking point I see from people on our side is, oh, okay, Trump is indicted now. He's definitely going to he'll be the next president. Well, you're missing a step. He will be the next president if, I'll repeat it for you, if we do something to secure our elections. And by something, I mean at minimum, get rid of the voting machines. For as long as they can switch to vote, they're going to. Okay. A lot of you guys think that we're going to get. I don't know why we're going to outvote the steal. We're still on outvote the steal. What the hell do you people need to see to realize that the other side, and I did an entire video on this, that criminals don't care, right? You got to think like a criminal. These criminals don't care. They're going to do anything. They are coming home with the win, period, unless we make that impossible. For as long as it is possible, it's going to happen. I don't know why a lot of you guys don't get that. You think we just need more votes, more vote. How many more votes do you think we need for them to not be able to steal it? And then why wouldn't they do it anyway? And, one of the other comments that I made, and of course, people said I was crazy and conspiracy and smoke another joint. And by the way, I smoked 3 that day. But I said that worst that happens for them is they steal it. We catch them again. We speak out about it like we have. And then they just incarcerate us. Who's that guy? Something Mackey. I can't remember what the hell his name is. But the guy that did the meme against Hillary Clinton and got 10 years for it. So, he makes a joke about, the Hillary Clinton voters should vote by text. First of all, if you are so stupid that you think that you can actually vote by text, you probably have no business voting anyway, right? But nonetheless, when you called up the number, it was a gag. It was clearly a gag. And now 10 years for me about Hillary Clinton. And you don't think that if they steal the election, we catch them, and we will, and then we say something about it, that we're not going to end up in prison? Look what they just did to Trump. Some of you guys still have a lot of waking up to do. You're underestimating the people that we're up against. You think that these guys are just going to go away on their own. We'll just beat them like 2016, man. No, it's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Do I think that Trump will be able to fight this gag order? I don't know. Legally, this case should be dismissed. It shouldn't even get past arraignment because of just on the statute of limitations alone. And from what I understand, Trump's lawyers, that is the very first thing that they are arguing, is that this case should be dismissed because of the statute of limitations. And in a fair court, it would, because you can't bring charges when statute of limitations run out. Doesn't matter what the crime is. I mean, there are some crimes with no statute of limitations, but these particular ones do. And it's a 2-year, and at best case scenario for them, you could get it up to 5. This happened 7 years ago. So, however, do I think that they're going to honor that and dismiss the case? Absolutely not. Look at the judge. Once again, we got another get Trump judge. So, and I know a lot of you people, a couple people wanted to give me a law lesson. I have news for you, idiots. I was about to go to law school. I took the LSATs, right? I decided not to. I know the law way better than you. So take your legal lessons and shove them right up your pooper, because I don't need that shit. Maybe you need to learn the damn law. Okay? A lot of people wanted to tell me that, oh, well, Vincent, it's a jury that's going to decide that. Oh, yeah? How did they go with the grand jury? You select the jury, jackass. Do you think that process is going to be fair? Because it wasn't fair for Roger Stone, if you idiots remember. I mean, that's the thing. You guys are like, you like goldfish, right? Something happens, 15 seconds, you fucking forget. We've watched this stuff already. You don't need a crystal ball to see what happens next. We've seen it. For those of you that don't have your head in your rear ends and would like a refresher, right, how a lot of these cases get treated, what I would recommend, and what I intend on doing myself, is going back and really ripping apart the General Flynn case and how the courts conducted themselves there, and take a look at the Roger Stone case and see how the courts conducted themselves there. I had also mentioned Alex Jones earlier, and that was more of a civil litigation, right? It wasn't a criminal matter. But, and I know some of you guys don't like him. He's not my cup of tea either. But if you take a look at the court proceeding, forget about what he says and all this stuff, right? Take a look at the court proceeding and take a look at the jury. Was it fair? Steve Bannon, another great example. I don't know how the hell I left him out to begin with. Steve Bannon, another example, right? You think that's going to be a fair case? No, he's got to take now to appeal because look what happened to him. Got railroaded by a jury. So please, save your legal lessons, shove them right up your, you know where, okay? I don't need to hear from you, right? I don't need to study the law. I don't need to take a civics class. I don't need to smoke another joint, okay? Clearly, I know a hell of a lot more than you do, right? Not all of you. Some of you guys who watch are very smart, and some not so much. And some people on Twitter, apparently, we like viewing content without viewing it and then commenting on it. So, like, somebody posts a video and then we don't actually watch the video, but we comment on the video as if we watched it, even though we didn't watch it. Then you wonder why we're losing the fight that we're in. Okay? Stupidity and laziness will cost us our freedom. I say it all the time, and I mean it. It's not just a saying. Okay? I see it all the time. I put up a podcast, don't listen to it, but you comment on it. I put up an article, you don't read the article, but you comment on the headline. The fuck, people. And then, as if that's not bad enough, suddenly, because you liked a headline or comment on it, you're now an expert on anything related to that headline. Even though you didn't read the content, you have no idea what it says. It could have said fuck you, fuck you, fuck you in the middle of it, and you don't know. But you share it, you like it, you comment on it, but you do everything but view the content. Real good, right? So do yourself a favor. Stop being an expert in everything and go back to the things that you can look at, right? It doesn't take a genius to see where they're planning on taking this. Look how they've treated these other cases. Look at the things that they've done already. None of it is based in law. This case should have never been brought. This case really can't be brought if we were to go by the statute of limitations. But when there are no rules, there are no rules. And I think that is one of the biggest things that a lot of you people are missing, that we're playing by the rules. They're doing whatever the hell they want. There are no rules. So why won't they steal 2024? Now, is there still a possibility, even if we got rid of the machines and the ability for them to steal, that they'll come up with another way? Maybe. I couldn't imagine what that would be. If you take the method that they're using to do it away, short of coming up with something else, they're pretty screwed. Now, I think if you get nice and close to the election, not too close, we need time to be able to accomplish this stuff, and take them by surprise. They may not, I hate when that happens. They may not have enough time to concoct another plan. That could be interesting. And there are people like Mike Lindell who are still, to this day, actively fighting to get rid of the machines, and he feels that he's going to have success in some of the states. Hopefully they're the states that we need. I wish to hell people would get behind him. I just had a conversation with somebody the other day, and talk about a jackass. Let me be clear. There are very, very few people in this movement that I would stand behind no matter what. Mike Lindell is one of them. Dude is a badass. He's as genuine as they come. He's one of the most trustworthy people, in my opinion, on our side. Donald Trump is the other one. Guys like Don Jr. And there are some others that I would say are looking pretty damn good. But the problem is with the level of deception that we had, for me to say that 100%, I don't 100% trust anybody, period. Right? I'm talking about on a personal level, not even on a political level. I'm talking about just human beings. If I have 99% trust for you, that's about as close as it's getting, you know. But as far as for political candidates or prospective political candidates, there aren't too many people that I really, there are people I like, and there are a lot of people that I think are all right and doing a great job, and I think are good people, and I have some trust for, but not, there aren't too many that I can say I fully trust. Mike Lindell's one of them. But anyway, I had mentioned something to a couple people, and oh well, how do we know we didn't get bad data? I don't know, because the mathematicians came up with the same stuff using the data or other data, right? And came to the same conclusions, all their bar graph matches. How could you use PCAPs and information from voting machines and now mathematic from election data that these other guys have using just mathematics? They come up with the same fucking curve. Like, really? You think it's bad data? Maybe you're listening to bad influencers. Maybe you're listening to bad media people. Maybe you're listening to idiot truthers who lie to you just to make money. Um, you know, I think that a lot of us need to start using better discernment. I think a lot of us really need to pull our head out of our asses because, some of the excuses and the idiotic things that I see some people saying, and I'm not saying, excuse me, I'm not saying that you're bad people, but nonetheless, good grief, guys. Some of you, uh, it's just one excuse ends and another begins. It's like, oh, well, they can't do that. Oh, that would never happen. Whatever happened to a lot of you guys swore to me, oh, he's not getting indicted. You need better sources, man. Oh, yeah? How'd that work? Not getting indicted, huh? There's no case, Vincent. Yeah. I got to start recording this shit when people do this stuff. Start taking screenshots and stick it right up their rear ends. I think it's humorous. Oh, you got to do better research, Vincent. Man, I've been listening to this shit my whole life. Okay? A lot of you guys, and I'm glad you woke up. It's nice. Better late than never. Uh, but I've been listening to this stuff literally my entire life. I'm not young. Believe it or not, I know my boyish looks and everything. You'd think I was 21, but no, that's not the case. Okay? I'm in my 40s. And I know that's hard to believe, right? Anyway, but I've been listening to this stuff from my mother for over 35 years, and probably longer than that. I just don't remember. And in great detail. So when a lot of you idiots want to, oh, you got to do better research. I got to do better research? I don't think so. Maybe you need to do better research. So far, everybody that's told me to do better research has been wrong about, I don't know, everything. So a lot of you guys told me he won't, he'll never get indicted. Oh, that's not going to happen. That's fake news. Me. Oh, is it? Where's he going on Tuesday? So he did get indicted. The other nonsensical thing, oh, well, they're not going to steal the election. They're going to get caught. You think they care? They didn't get caught in 2020? They didn't get caught in 2022. And I have news for you, and I said this back then, mainly to my mother and family members and friends and whatever. Jenna Ellis. Talk about a girl I've grown to hate. I didn't have love for her to begin with, but she was one of the main lawyers heading the election fraud cases. And look at her now. Go check out her Twitter account. She's like a political skank. We'll call her that. She'll attach herself to any candidate that she possibly can, trying to get work out of them or whatever the hell it is that she's trying to get. No loyalty whatsoever. Do you really think that Jenna Ellis fought to the best of her ability to overturn 2020? I don't. I don't. I think if you take a really good look at the way she filed stuff, I think if you look at some of the arguments that were made, I think if you looked at the way she fought a lot of these cases, you'll see that uh, legal, I don't know if you call it malfeasance or malpractice. I don't know. Uh, Pick a word. You get what I'm trying to say here. I know some, you got to smoke another joint, brother. Yeah. I love that comment. You guys say it a lot. And I laugh my ass off because every time you say it, you guys are end up being proven wrong. So maybe you should smoke a joint. It's healthy. You should do it. Make you smarter. At least smarter than you are, because some of you aren't too bright. Fortunately. Sadly. But anyway, if we take a look at all that's gone on in the past, right? Keep in mind, what is the reason we learn history, right? We learn history because there's this saying that, hopefully you know this, history repeats itself. We are actively watching modern history, just from like 5-6 years ago, already repeating itself. Yet, some of you, not the people who watch my videos mostly, still don't see it coming. You're still in denial. Oh, that'll never happen. Ooh. How many times I've heard, oh, that will never happen in America? As it happens in America. I see a lot of people, which is another thing that drives me crazy, by the way. Oh, New Yorkers. Oh, New York. Oh, New York. Oh, they deserve it, New York. Oh, fuck you. How about that? The great big New York, fuck you. How long before your state's a shithole? Maybe I wouldn't put the nose up in the air. New Yorkers deserve this, that, and the other thing. How long before your state becomes a shithole? Think about Republican governors. How many great ones do we really have, right? Right now, a lot of people would say that Florida and Texas are one of the, two of the best states in the country. And right now, I mean, I wouldn't really disagree with it, but it's got nothing to do with their scumbag governors. That little wheelchair bastard in Texas, that fucker. I can't even remember his name now. You know what I'm talking about. We'll call him Governor Wheelchair. That jackass. What a snake he is. And then you got Ron DeSanctimonious, that little creep. Did you guys miss it? Florida changed resign to run law. Ooh, what play, right? What play? So, just to recap. In my opinion, what the immediate plan is. Pied Piper, routine, raise up Benedict Ronald, raise him up, try to get Trump out of the picture, get rid of Kamala Harris. I think they want to get rid of Joe Biden as well. I would not be surprised to see a Michelle Obama, Hillary. I don't know about Hillary, unless you'd have to I don't know. To make people vote for Hillary, you'd have to run her with Beyonce or something, right? Not that she, you get what I'm saying though. Or Michelle Obama, which they hate each other, but I don't know. Hillary Clinton, I think, is probably one of the least likely scenarios, but then in the same breath, she was made a promise and they have yet to keep it. So, I don't know. My guess would be a Michelle Obama, Hillary Clinton ticket. If I had to take a guess, I think the Obama somehow, some way, even if it's a someone else Michelle Obama ticket, they got to get rid of Joe. They got to get rid of Trump. And then, obviously, they're going to steal the next one. And if we start speaking out against it, you'll end up in prison. And, a lot of people will say, well, why the gag order? Well, the gag order, it's very simple. They're going to make the case as to why we need a new candidate. Well, how can we have a candidate if he can't even speak and run and do rallies and do all this stuff? Get it? Good. Okay, that's really all I have to say here. If you would do me a favor, like and share this video. Check out the sponsors in the description. And don't forget, Augusta Precious Metals. Get your free gold IRA guide at kofefi.click/IRA. A lot of you guys have done it. And good for you. Smart. I will be getting a lot of thank you letters in the mail for that one. There's a lot going on. And I would not trust my money in the hands of the people who hate us and are actively trying to destroy us. If you have an IRA or 401k, it's in the stock market, controlled by the people who hate us. Take that information and do what you want with it. If I were you, I'd get the free gold IRA guide and checklist at kofefi.click/IRA. You can thank me later. Bye.